Hello, everybody. I wanted to take a few minutes tonight and give you some information about the instruments that we're going to be using in your field placement. This first document is one that you should recognize. Um, it's the basic one that's produced by Dalton State College School of Education. And in it, you're going to, of course, put your name, the semester, the course, where you're doing your placement, and your mentor teacher's name. On this section, you're going to make sure that you put the date and what you did during your time at that placement, as well as how long you were there, and of course, have your mentor teacher sign it every day. At the end of your placement, the end of 20 hours, we're going to save this document and you're going to scan it and put it into your ASD, your autism portfolio that I will later tell you how to create or where it should go exactly. The next document that I want to talk to you about is the instrument that's going to be used by your site supervisor when she comes in to visit. And she'll come in two different times. This instrument is based on the Georgia Department Education class keys that was used to evaluate special ed teachers, and it was just tweaked a little bit to fit the needs of our course. So when your site teacher, and that is your person from Dalton State that comes in, and she will come in two different times while you're in your placement. What will happen is she's going to use this instrument as the basis for her evaluation of your time in your field experience. This instrument is based on standards-based instruction, and so what you'll find is that in this example that I'm going to share with you, you'll see what she's going to be expecting to see or to discuss with you when she comes in. For instance, when we're working with kids with autism, we don't just work from the seat of our pants. We actually used research-based strategies to engage students in meaningful learning. And so when she comes in, what I hope that she's going to see from you is that you're going to be able to identify the specialized instruction that either your special ed teacher is using and or that you are using with your student with autism, or what you would use if you were given the chance. But what I want to know is that you recognize research-based practices as being best practice and that you know what they are and that you're using them during your time in the field. Another element that you're going to be used is going to be used to evaluate is how well you are keeping an open environment with your kids, a collaborative environment, a positive environment. And so what you're going to be doing is looking for different ways that you can encourage students for you to be able to help students monitor their own progress or their own behavior in terms of achievement. If you're not sure what to do, then I would expect that you would talk to the special ed teacher to ask her how does she help each student monitor their own behavior. What do they do to monitor their own academic achievement? Just like you and I set goals for ourselves, what are the goals that are being set for these students? And so when your site teacher comes in, I would want you, if she's not seeing you actually use it, to be able to tell your site teacher what's being done currently, and if this were your classroom, what you would do differently. Also, I want you to feel free to take initiative both in the class and with the site teacher, your site supervisor. So you lead the conversation, you incorporate these elements that are given to you for examples, and you make sure that you're bringing in that content so that your site supervisor will know that that's handled. Another element that's going to be important to you is that you understand what assistive technologies are being utilized in that class. Maybe there will be some and maybe there won't be, But assistive technologies can be as rudimentary as a piece of Velcro to tie a shoe, or they can be as high tech as a PEX system for communication. So again, talk to the special ed teacher to see what assistive technology she's used or is currently using. And when your site teacher comes in, you discuss different assistive technologies that could be used to enhance the learning of those students. The fourth element that you're going to be evaluated on is that you are using instruction that is aligned with the student's cognitive and developmental needs, that you recognize the student's strengths, and that you're working with those strengths to build on those strengths and to continue to develop, and that you're using appropriate material that is cognitively appropriate for those students as well as respectful. So again, maintaining a positive environment, looking to challenge the student, to recognize where the student is, to know where the student is cognitively and academically. Those are the conversations that will be the basis of the dialogue that happens between you and your site teacher. Again, if you are working with the student and or if you are explaining to the site teacher what you would be doing, I would expect that you're using language that's built in to show that you're encouraging high-level thinking from your students. For instance, if you'll look at that example, that you use a three-step prompting system such as tell, show, or do when you're working with kids that have lower cognitive abilities. And so those are the things that I want you to be working on. Also, hey Storm, I'm recording this for my students, so if you'll wait just a second. I'm sorry, that was my son. So anyway, another, and probably I think it's the final observation, expectation that you'll be expected to see is that you are maintaining a positive learning environment, that you're using small group instruction, that you're following in a positive way procedures that are leading to a productive environment, and you're going to maximize your instructional time and being consistent with the classroom management. So again, knowing what's going on in the classroom, following the routine that the teacher has established, all the while maintaining a positive environment is very important for you to be able to discuss with your site teacher. So again, this document is what your site teacher is going to bring in when she comes to observe you on 2 different occasions. If she does not see all the things that are listed here, then she would be looking for those things the next time she comes. So again, this document is not something that the site teacher is going to come in and sit down and watch you and just be able to check off, yes, the student did this, yes, the student did that. You're going to have to be so familiar with this document that you can lead the conversation with your site supervisor and make sure that you are mastering this document at a proficient level. It's okay to have a couple of emerging marks, but on the second visit, certainly you want to make sure that you are past emerging and into proficient. So this is a little bit different than what you would be expected to do in your ECE field placement. So the best thing you can do is to really read this document with the examples in it, and any questions that you have, talk to your site teacher, your mentor teacher, your Dalton State special ed supervisor that's going to come in to make sure you have a clear understanding, and know that our goal is to help you learn more than you already know. And so we're going to meet you with what you know and keep pushing you to learn more and more. We all recognize that you're not in a special ed program and that all of this is new. So we're not in here in this endeavor in your field experience to knock you down. We're in here to build you up. So again, don't look at this as your site teacher coming in to catch you. It's your site teacher coming in to help clarify anything that in this instrument seems ambiguous. But please make sure that you've really read this document and that you have a list of questions ready when your site teacher comes in. If you have any questions about this, of course, please let me know. And as you read through it, I feel like it's going to come more clear to you, and you'll be able to handle this with no problems. I wanted to also share with you the APBD. This is a little bit different, if I can figure out how to move it, than the one that you have for your field placement. Oh my goodness. It looks just like your regular APBD that you use. It's for attitudes, professional dispositions, and I can't get that to scoot over for some reason. So I'll move that over. And behaviors. Let me see if I click that. Well, I can't get that to move. But anyway, this looks like your regular APBD. And so it's all about professional attributes and different things. And so what I want you to do is make sure that you read through this as well, because it's about professionalism. And in the field of special education, nothing is more important than confidentiality on that IEP. So any information that you discuss with your special ed teacher and with the student, or what you see, know that that's going to be held confidential. You're not to go out and discuss that with anybody else outside the realm of this field experience and or our class. Another area that's really important to me is that when you go into your field placement, that you show some initiative, that you don't sit back and just wait for something to happen, that you seek opportunities to get engaged in that class. So again, be sure that you read through the elements of the APBD and that you're practicing that professionalism. The one thing that's different about our APBD versus the APBD that's used in the ECE or general ed program at Dalton State is we have a comments and recommendations section. And I'm sharing this with you because I want to make sure that if and when you remind your mentor teacher that she is to complete this in live text for you at the end of your placement, that she goes in and makes comments on this section. If you receive a score less than satisfactory, certainly we want to know why so that we can work to improve that. So to me, the comments and the recommendation section is the most important part of the APBD, and I hope that you'll remind your teachers at the end of your placement when they fill this out in live text to complete it. I hope this video was helpful. I'm going to send it to your site supervisors as well in hopes to clarify. I'm sorry for the amateur nature of this recording. I'm just using Screencast-O-Matic on my own computer. Anyway, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please know that I want to hear them. And I hope that this helps clarify any questions that you may have, particularly before you go into the field. In short, you're going to have 3 instruments that you're responsible for making sure that they get turned in. The first one is your documentation of field hours. The second one is your TCPR. There will be 2 of them that are completed by your site supervisor. The third one is the APBD that should be completed by the mentor teacher at the end of your placement. All of these are in live text. If you have any questions, please let me know. I hope y'all have a great evening.